Hello friends, it's Sunday, so that's 2 days in a row of videos, and we're starting on the most shaded part of the garden here. Something you can tell the easiest in the winter with the snow is your sun exposure, and that is because the snow melts the fastest where the sun hits the most. So, I want to show you what I feel is a pretty dramatic example of that. So this backyard gets a lot more sun in the summertime because here in Pittsburgh, the sun angle goes from very low, highest point, it's actually probably at the highest point right now. Ready? Woo! Where is it? Here we go. Right? And where are we? Jeez. It's in those trees there. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. So the highest point, it's 1 o'clock now, so it was probably here at its highest. Right now it's there. So you can imagine it goes like this and doesn't get behind the house at all. Now in the summertime, that angle, so now I have, as you can see from my shadow, I have it to my back. And so that angle makes the house cast a very long shadow throughout the day. So let's see if we can maybe not blind you this time. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I think that's okay. As you can imagine, the sun is more like up there during the summertime. So it comes past the house at probably 10 or 11 a.m. because noon will be almost straight up. And that is a phenomena of being at a more northerly latitude. The higher latitude towards the North Pole that you are, the more angle change you get, such that in Alaska, for example, they will get a sunrise during the wintertime that is joined with the sunset. You may get the top edge of the sun peeking past. And then in the summertime, the sun just touches down to the horizon at midnight, and the sun's up all day. So that is sun angle stuff and latitude dependent changes. I'm about midway on a lot of that. So you can see back here there's a ton of snow. It's in the shade. It gets like this little peak of the sun during the day, and that's about it. So then, if we come up here, we can already see that this spot and the front yard get a good bit more of, I hit my elbow, so that probably shook the camera more than usual, get a good bit more of the sun. And, oh dear, something got into my trash last night. That's terrible. I'll have to deal with that. And right here in my fire pit, you can see something very interesting. We have a miniature simulation of a north-facing slope versus a south-facing slope. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? So, as you can see, this slope that I'm cultivating is a south-facing slope because it's slanted in the same side as the snowless edge of my fire pit. So taking a look at all of this, I've gotten out the shovel. The hillside is pretty well thawed. I think the first thing I want to work on today, oh, the stick fell, the trash got dug into, yay. Really need to get the trash out to the curb. This week, I don't know when they're gonna come because the holiday is gonna screw it all up. Woo, that's a big step. I don't want to scrunch it while it's, like, thawing. So back in here again, we're back in the snow, as you can see, and the snow is pretty dense up in here still too. Now it's melted because the ambient air temperature has gotten up to 40 several times, but the sun melting the surface of the soil hasn't gotten in here enough until we get all the way back here. And the funny thing is, in the summertime, this is very dense shade because look what's above us. But in the wintertime, there's no leaves, so it's quite exposed. Now, there might be something else that you've heard in relation specifically to maybe solar panels. You know how solar panels are always set up at an angle, facing the predominant path of the sun if they can be. You know how the ones that are in big open fields are always set up at, like, I'm not sure the exact angle. It's probably around 45 or something like that, but whatever angle points towards the predominant path of the sun for the latitude that you're at. And a lot of times they'll adjust those by the season if they're trying to maximize production. But most of the time they'll set it for winter time because that's when you're the most limited in sunlight, if you're not going to be able to change the setup seasonally. So the same thing is actually true when a landscape is at an angle, such as, well, this little spot here. That actually is very slippy right now, and every step I put in, my boots are just sinking right in. And I'm actually brought out the shovels. Watch my foot slide. See that? Now there's a great big clod of mud on the bottom of my shoe that I have to deal with because I did that. I'm actually thinking about digging into here because I can. And putting in, I don't know, maybe some of these stones, maybe something different. Putting in something to help me not slide down this all the freaking time. Maybe some, like, scrap cement pieces. Nothing's that difficult to carry for me anymore. I am so freaking farm strong, it's ridiculous. So I think I'll give that a try. That's why I brought the shovel out. And the other thing I could actually do today, even though in the back the ground is frozen solid, and some of this is a little bit frozen at the base, something I could likely do today, if not maybe in a bit this week, is start digging forward this retainer wall project down here. Sorry, I'm going to actually use just my free hand, and that probably means it's going to shake a bit. Okay, and then rest it against my chest again. With the same shovel, I need to come down here and bring down a pruner too and dig into the hillside to push it up against this retainer wall. I have one more board to put up. I brought down a lot of my brush that is fully dead, and get that starting to actually extend it. I think that would be excellent. That would be really good to get started on. So that is all that is really possible with a sloped area. I'm fascinated here too. Let's see. And this is also the reason that things heave out of the ground so much easier in very exposed areas. Like, look at that soil. It's just so easy to move around. It's too soggy to put my hand the whole way in without a shovel. That's just, whoa, that is like mud. It's really nice, though. So I can actually get quite a lot done down here on a day like today, even though it's only barely 40. You know, we're a few degrees above freezing, and it's been deep freeze for a little bit. So the ground behind the house is completely frozen solid. But the ground down here thaws out pretty quick because it's sloped in the way that you want for a solar battery. And soil thawing is the effects of a solar battery. So here we are. Just have a nice little peek at the view here. And then I'm gonna go. I also just got a message from my brother on the text messenger that says he's on his way, so maybe this won't get done today. But that's okay. I could start a little bit. Alright, bye.